Hey guys, Tepcocyclerepair with this sweet new front tire on here. It's time to do the rear, so let me show you what we're going to do. Alright, so the date on this rear tire and the front tire is 2015. You can see it right there. Besides the fact that it's just shot, okay? Doing burnouts and stuff in it, I guess. It's squared off. When you got a bike with a bunch of power and torque like this, you want a tire that's going to stick down. So I'm going to get the matching rear for this one. They're a little more expensive, but it's worth every penny. One of the things I don't do here in the shop is street bike tire changes. I don't have the equipment for it. Eventually I will, but I don't right now. So I have a really good relationship with my local dealership, Kevin Powell Motorsports. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this wheel off, run over there, and let them mount up and balance the new tire. So let me show you. This right here is a 32 millimeter. All we're going to do is pull this off here. You have your adjuster block right behind it. All right, you got all your ABS and your rear caliper mount here, so be careful when that comes off. And then on this side here, same thing, we got a spacer down in there. This axle and axle block just slide right out. So pretty much the process is simple. You take this out, take the washer out, pull this out, knock your axle in, hold the axle here, slide it out while you're holding the wheel so the wheel doesn't drop. Move the wheel forward a little bit, take the chain off, and then get and pull the wheel off. So let me set you up on the tripod and I'll take this wheel off quick. All right, so we just got a hurricane warning. We're in North Carolina here. Weather changes by the minute. So I don't have any power in here, so I got to make sure that I get everything done before it starts raining so I can close my doors right behind me. Alright, so the nut off. The washer, adjuster block. Now I got a rubber mallet here. It's got rubber and plastic, so I'm just going to tap this really easy. All right, see it coming out over here. Then I'm just going to support the tire a little bit with my knee. So I'm going to take my knee and just stick it underneath it here, because the tire's up in the air. And just by pulling the tire a little bit, getting the pressure onto my knee, it won't fall. So then we're going to go ahead and pull this axle out. Comes out with the axle block. Move it forward a little bit, get the chain off. I'm watching the brake caliper and everything on this side. Just going to take the wheel out. So this sits inside the rim a little bit, so you got to just kind of work the wheel out and get it through there. So we have our spacer here, our cush drive and everything. If we pull this off, and I'm just wiggling it. All right, so here's our whole drive unit with the other spacer. I'm going to put that aside, just so it doesn't fall off in transport. I'm going to wipe all this clean. Let's go get the new one put on. All right, so let's put it back in. And one thing I want you guys to notice is that I have to use, if you're using bungs, if you don't have them in there yet, for the swing arm, I have to use the extended ones with washers so that my lift wouldn't hit it, okay? All right, so make sure that you space it out enough so your bike stand doesn't go ahead and hit the swing arm. You want to do that. Look at this thing, hollowing me here. It's pretty cool. All right, let's get it back on. All right, so putting it back on. Got the new tire here, looking good. I'm going to work it back in. Pay attention to the rotor and the caliper on the other side. Make sure your spacers are in. I'm going to take the axle. All right, and we're just going to put a little tight wipe of grease on here. Again, it's for corrosion, not for spinning. It doesn't spin any better with grease. So just take a little bit and then go ahead and just wipe it all around on there. Thin coat. sure you take this opportunity to make sure everything is clean before you put it back together again. All right, now this is going to go in here, but we're just going to have it kind of sit on there, just like that, so it doesn't. All right, so it's just sitting on there. It doesn't get in the way. I can push it right in when it's time. I'm going to slowly bring the wheel back up. Paying attention to everything. Like right now, one of the sprocket nuts is hitting the swing arm, so I'm just going to bring it in. I'm going to use my leg again, just kind of pick it up. Trying to get the rotor inside of the brake pads right now. All right, so now with that in, I'm going to put the chain back on while the wheel is forward. Get it started. All right, so now with the axle almost all the way in, I'm going to make sure that the adjuster stays. Now if you look at the axle on the end of it, it has flat sides on it. That's so that the axle doesn't rotate when you're tightening it. So I'm just going to push it all the way in. Getting in now. All right, so on this side, we're going to put the adjuster in, the washer, and the axle nut. Now this gets tightened to 59 foot-pounds. So you want to make sure that everything is pulled forward. So the way that I do that is I take a rag and I stick it in to the sprocket side, pull it back like this, so it's pulling the wheel all the way forward, and then I go ahead and tighten the other side. .59 foot-pounds. And to help make sure the wheel is in, always do your torque pushing forward. All right, take the rag out, and the wheel's mounted. It's a good looking tire right there. All right, guys, so that's all there is to it. It's a pretty simple, straightforward job. I use that dual compound tire. I've heard a lot of good things about it. This is a heavy bike, remember, 630 pounds or so, and it has a lot of torque. So we need that center rubber to be solid enough so that it doesn't get eaten up quickly and we get some mileage out of it. But we also want good enough traction that can hold a 630-pound bike around some curves aggressively. So this Michelin tire is a really good tire, and hopefully that should do the job. So please, guys, do me a favor. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell for further notifications. The Energica is finally coming along. Until next time, it's Tepcocyclerepair.